Hi and welcome to Momza Yoga. In today's video, in our mini-series on pregnancy and prenatal yoga, we're going to talk about exercises and poses to lengthen and strengthen the spine. If you haven't seen my video in this series about the importance of a long, healthy spine in pregnancy, I recommend you watch it. But today we're just going to hold some poses that are going to help us build our back strength and lengthen our spine, which is going to go a long way towards improving how we feel when we're pregnant and possibly how we're carrying our baby and our pelvic floor. I hope you enjoy this video.
For our first pose, we'll come stand before a sturdy wall, place our palms on the wall, and begin to walk our feet backwards and our palms down the wall until we come to an L formation or a 90-degree bend at the waist. You want to have a long spine here with maybe even a little curve in your lumbar spine. You want to feel like your tailbone is tilting ever so slightly towards the sky. If it's hard to do this, if your hamstrings are tight or you find that your spine is rounding towards the sky, then give a slight bend to your knees. And you want your shoulders to be about the level of your ears. In this pose, we're pushing firmly into the wall with our palms, and we're imagining that our tailbone is traveling behind us, almost as if someone were pulling it, putting traction on our spine, lengthening everything. Take a deep breath into your rib cage, imagining that your breath can expand your ribs outwards. Let your exhales be gentle and passive. Inhaling, the ribs move outwards. Exhaling, they move back in. And to come out of this, we'll bend our knees and slowly walk our feet back in towards the wall. For our next pose, we need 2 yoga blocks, but where I'm recording right now is a bit remote and I can't find any, so I am using 2 extra tall, hard plastic outdoor cups. If you're going to use a modification like this, please just make sure that it's very sturdy. Come to stand on your mat with your blocks or your cups out in front of you. Hug your belly to your spine and hinge at the waist, leaning forward and placing your palms on your blocks. You want a long spine here with that little bit of curvature in the lumbar spine, as if your tailbone is tilting towards the sky. Again, if this is very tight on your hamstrings or you find your spine is rounding towards the sky, then give a slight bend to your knees. You want your shoulders to be roughly over your hands, and you want your neck to be long. So you're not tucking your chin in and you're not sticking your chin out. Take some deep breaths into your rib cage here. Again, letting the ribs expand outwards with the inhale and moving back in with the exhale. In this pose, we're both lengthening and strengthening the back. You're using your strong back muscles to support you here. You're not just supporting your weight on the blocks, but your whole back chain is supporting your body. And to come out of this, we'll bend our knees and walk our hands slowly up our thighs as we rise to stand. And for our last pose, we'll meet up on hands and knees on our mat. The hips are over the knees and the shoulders are over the wrists. Extend your right leg back with the toes tucked. Make sure your hips are square. And hug the belly to the spine as you lift that leg up, just to the level of the hip. Take a moment to catch your balance here. Take a notice of whether or not the leg is flying up too high or the hips aren't square. And when you feel ready, you'll start to float your left arm off the mat to the level of your ear. The right foot and the left hand are pulling in opposite directions, putting some traction on your spine. And don't be concerned about the wobbles or the trembles. That's just the pose doing its work. Don't resist them. Just let your body go through the wobbles. And go ahead and return your left palm to the floor and bring your right leg back down. Tuck your toes and sit back on your heels. Clasp your hands together and run them down your spine, allowing the shoulders to externally rotate. Take a deep breath into your heart space, a nice chest and shoulder opener. We'll come back to hands and knees to take the opposite side, squaring our hips over our knees and our shoulders over our hands. Step the left foot back with the toes tucked. Square your hips. Hug your belly to the spine as you float that left leg up only to the level of your hips. Find your balance and float your right arm off the mat to the level of your ear. Just enjoy the trembles and the wobbles, don't resist them. The foot and the hand are pulling in opposite directions. And go ahead and return your hand to the mat. Coming back to hands and knees, tuck your toes, sit back on your heels again, clasp your palms behind your back and run them down your spine. Take a deep breath into your heart space. Allow your shoulders to melt open to the sides.
I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope it brings you a little bit more comfort during your pregnancy. If you did like it, please be sure to like and subscribe. This greatly helps other people find this information. Thank you.